Chosen one. There's panic behind the scenes right now. They are begging people not to speak to you, but the truth has become too heavy to stay quiet about. Someone out there can no longer carry the weight of silence. This person knows what really happened, what was stolen, twisted, and hidden in the dark. And the ones who tried to bury it are trembling because the truth is louder than their manipulation. No matter how hard they plead, the truth is done waiting. It's rising, it's roaring. And when it breaks through, it won't just clear your name, it will destroy every illusion built to silence you. This person coming forward is not who you expect. This is not your best friend. This is not a close family member. This is someone from the edges of your old life. Maybe someone connected to an ex, maybe a friend of a family member you barely knew, someone who was there but invisible, someone who watched everything unfold, someone who heard conversations no one was supposed to hear, someone who saw documents no one was supposed to see. And now this witness is done, being silent, not because of a suddenly developed conscience, because the walls are closing in and self-preservation has kicked into overdrive before the entire operation collapses. You thought you were just going through a creative block. You thought you were experiencing burnout. You thought maybe you were not as talented as you believed. Wrong. Someone was deliberately draining your creative energy. Someone was feeding off your sacral chakra like a parasite attached to a host. That center of creation, that source of authentic expression, that wellspring of passion and power was being systematically drained. Your life force was being stolen to fuel someone else's empty existence. And it was not just one person. Others were recruited. Multiple people working in coordination. A conspiracy designed to keep you small, to keep you silent, to keep you from stepping into the magnitude of who you were always meant to become. Why would anyone do this? Because your potential was recognized before you fully saw it yourself. The future version of you that would eclipse everyone around you was already visible to those watching closely. What you were capable of creating, building, manifesting was clear, and instead of stepping aside to let greatness emerge, sabotage became the strategy. Your money became an obsession for these people. Your opportunities became fixation points. You were watched like prey being studied by predators. Everything was documented. And here is where it gets wild. Records were kept, maybe a diary, maybe files on a computer, maybe a USB drive someone thought was deleted but was not. Their own words, their own schemes, their own malicious intent, all written down in detail. Why would anyone be stupid enough to document their own evil? Because obsession makes people sloppy, because arrogance makes people careless, because getting caught seemed impossible. But getting caught is exactly what is about to happen. Hard. The countdown has already started. The alliance is fracturing. The web is unraveling. People who once stood united against you are now turning on each other. Self-preservation has kicked in. Everyone can feel the heat coming. Everyone knows consequences are approaching, and everyone is scrambling to avoid being the one left holding the bag when justice arrives. You always knew something was off. You had dreams about betrayal. You had moments where things did not add up. You had gut feelings about certain people that you talked yourself out of trusting. Guess what? You were right. Every single suspicion was accurate. Every uncomfortable feeling was justified. Every instinct that screamed danger was telling you the truth. Your intuition was never wrong. You were just surrounded by people who convinced you to doubt it. Gaslighting made you question your own perception because if you trusted yourself fully, you would have seen right through the deception. While you were doubting yourself, plotting was happening against you. While you were trying to make things work, obstacles were being created. While you were being authentic, masks were being worn. Attempts were made to get you to sign things away. Attempts were made to get you to forget about opportunities that were rightfully yours. Attempts were made to push you onto wrong paths, all while care was being pretended, all while roles were being played, all while lies wrapped in false concern were being fed to you. But here is what was not accounted for. You are protected, not just by your own strength, though you are incredibly strong, not just by your own resilience. Though you are unbreakable, you are protected by forces that cannot be seen by those who attacked you. There is a shield around you that attacks cannot penetrate. Every scheme launched bounced back. Every trap set collapsed on those who set it. Every curse sent reversed threefold. Nothing worked and confusion reigned. Execution was blamed. Timing was blamed. Luck was blamed. The real reason was never considered. You are untouchable. Physical harm was wanted. Physical harm was planned. Physical harm was discussed. For some of you, physical harm was even attempted, but it never manifested. Why? Divine intervention, financial destruction was desired. Elaborate schemes were set up, but you are still standing, still breathing, still here, still thriving despite the best efforts to end you. That is not coincidence. That is protection. That is proof you are meant for something that was feared by those who attacked you. Right now, things are happening in the background. An investigation is underway, not just legally, though that may be part of it. Spiritually, karmically, universally, the scales are balancing. Justice moves slowly sometimes, but it moves with absolute certainty. And movement toward resolution is accelerating now. Something significant shifts very soon. Money moves, truth surfaces, power transfers. What was stolen comes back multiplied. The reason begging for silence is so desperate is because what exposure means is clearly understood. Complete annihilation of reputation, total destruction of carefully crafted images sold to everyone. The unmasking of true character in a way that leaves no room for redemption. Entire existences were built on foundations of lies about you. Positioning happened as the reasonable one, the victim, the one who tried so hard, and you were made into the problem, the difficult one, the one who could not get it together. But here is what happens when truth speaks. Entire narratives collapse. Every story told gets questioned. Every tear cried gets examined. Every time victim was played gets reassessed. And people start asking the real questions. If lies were told about this, what else was lied about? If this situation was manipulated, how many other situations were manipulated? If this level of calculation was used with this person, how calculated is the behavior with me? This is why full panic mode is active. This is not just about you anymore. This is about entire worlds crumbling. Because once people see the truth about how operations ran with you, those people start reviewing their own experiences. Dots that were missed before start getting connected. Patterns that were ignored start being seen. The spell breaks, the illusion shatters, and suddenly everyone can see clearly. You need to understand something about why this person coming forward matters so much. It is not just about having a witness. It is about having someone from the other camp turn traitor, someone who was supposed to stay loyal, someone who was supposed to keep the secrets, someone who was supposed to maintain the code of silence. When that person breaks ranks, everything you have been saying gets validated. Confirmation arrives that you were not making things up. Proof emerges that your version of events was accurate all along. This is what was feared most. Not you speaking your truth. That could be handled. Responses were prepared for that. Counter-narratives were ready. You could be painted as bitter or jealous or unstable. But when someone from the inside confirms your story, no defense exists for that. No spin works. No manipulation lands. The truth just sits there, undeniable and devastating. If you felt the truth in these words, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can see it. Let me tell you what this silence was really protecting. Not just embarrassment, an entire system was being protected. A system where the center of attention was always controlled. A system where narrative about multiple people was controlled. A system where power was held through information and manipulation. You were not the only target. You were just the one who got away, the one who broke free before complete destruction could happen. And that terrified everyone involved more than anything. Because if you could escape, others could too. If you could see through the manipulation, others might start seeing it. If you could rebuild your life after attempts to ruin it, you become living proof that the power claimed was never as absolute as pretended. You become a threat to entire operations simply by existing and thriving. That is why staying broken was needed from you. That is why staying silent was needed from you. That is why disappearing was needed from you. But you did not disappear. You healed, you grew, you got stronger. And now you are about to get validation for everything you knew was true. The whisper campaigns run against you are about to be exposed. The lies told about your character are about to be revealed as lies. The stories invented about why you left or why things ended are about to be fact-checked by someone who was actually there, and nothing can stop it. No amount of begging will stop it. No amount of pleading will prevent it. The truth has reached critical mass. The universe has reached a tipping point. There is a spiritual law that governs how long injustice can persist before correction must occur. That timeline was exceeded. The pushing went too far. Too much was taken. The hurt went too deep, and now the cosmic correction is not just coming. It is here. It is active. It is unstoppable. You are watching in real time as everything built on deception begins to crumble. Business ventures that seemed successful are failing. Relationships that seemed secure are fracturing. Reputation that seemed locked down is eroding. Health that was taken for granted is declining. Peace that was thought to be possessed is evaporating. This is what happens when life gets built on a foundation of harm toward others. Eventually the foundation cracks. Eventually the structure collapses. Eventually exact reaping happens for what was sown. And while falling apart is happening for them, you are rising. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by divine design. There is a principle at work here that transcends human understanding. When someone tries to destroy a person who is under spiritual protection, the attack backfires. The energy meant to harm you becomes energy that propels you. The obstacles meant to stop you become stepping stones that elevate you. The betrayal meant to break you becomes the catalyst that makes you. This is why begging for people not to speak is so desperate, because the shift happening can be felt, the energy changing can be sensed. Signs that the time of getting away with things is ending can be seen, and terror is real, true terror, the kind that keeps you awake, the kind that makes paranoia constant, the kind that makes threats appear everywhere, because when what was done is known, what is deserved is also known, and judgment approaching is clear. This is not just about deserved consequences being received. This is about you receiving what you were always meant to have. The truth coming out is not just punishment for others, it is liberation for you, it is vindication for you, it is restoration for you, it is the clearing away of lies that have been blocking your blessings. It is the removal of false narratives that have been limiting your connections. It is the exposure of manipulation that has been affecting your opportunities. When people learn the truth about what was done to you, reassessment of everything will happen. People who dismissed you will reach out with apologies. People who believed lies about you will want to make amends. People who missed opportunities to support you will look for ways to help you now. Doors that were closed will reopen. Paths that were blocked will clear. Resources that were withheld will become available, not because handouts are being asked for, because people will want to correct injustice once understanding of what really happened arrives. What is about to come to light will shock people who thought the situation was understood. The calculated nature of what was done to you, the premeditation, the collaboration, the sheer amount of effort invested in keeping you down. Most people assume conflict happens organically, misunderstandings escalate, personalities clash, things fall apart naturally. Expectation does not include someone actually sitting down and planning how to destroy another person's opportunities. Expectation does not include evidence of coordination and strategy, but that evidence exists. Conversations where blocking your progress was discussed, messages where your setbacks were celebrated, documentation of lies spread to people who could have helped you, records of opportunities that were intercepted, Proof that what happened to you was not bad luck or unfortunate circumstances, it was warfare, deliberate, strategic, sustained warfare against your potential. The person coming forward has seen some of this evidence. Maybe copies exist, maybe presence during conversations happened, maybe messages were received that revealed the extent of the conspiracy. Whatever is possessed, it is enough to make the realization clear that going down with this sinking ship is not desired. It is enough to make the understanding form that protecting these people is no longer worth the risk. It is enough to make the choice for self-preservation over loyalty. And what this person has is known by those being exposed. That is why the begging is so intense. That is why the desperation is so palpable. Knowledge exists that once certain things come out, no recovering from it happens, no spinning it, no explaining it away. Some actions are so obviously malicious that even the most skilled manipulator cannot reframe them. Some words are so clearly cruel that even the best liar cannot claim misunderstanding happened. Some patterns are so undeniably intentional that even the most charismatic person cannot charm away accountability. Multiple tactics were tried to keep you quiet. Intimidation was attempted, making you feel like speaking up would make things worse for you. Isolation was implemented, cutting you off from people who would believe you. Character assassination was deployed, making you seem unstable so your words would be dismissed. Bargaining was offered. Things were dangled if you would just stay silent. Guilt was applied, making you feel like exposing the truth would hurt innocent people. Every manipulation tactic in the book was deployed to ensure your side of the story never got told. But here is what was miscalculated. Your silence was assumed to be about fear. It was not. Your silence was about healing. Staying quiet was not happening because you were scared into submission. Staying quiet was happening because focus was on rebuilding yourself. The truth was not being avoided. Processing was happening privately while strength was being regained. Healing was mistaken for victory by those watching. Your absence from the narrative was thought to mean winning had happened for them. Wrong. Your silence was strategic. Even if conscious realization did not exist at the time, waiting was happening, not consciously perhaps, but spiritually you knew. Speaking too soon would mean speaking from a wounded place. Defending yourself prematurely would look like desperation. The right time would come when solidity existed, such that nothing said could shake you. That time is now. You are no longer the person who was hurt. You are the person who survived what was done and became stronger because of it. And now when the truth comes out, it is not coming from a place of pain. It is coming from a place of power. It is not coming as an emotional outburst. It is coming as factual testimony from multiple sources. It is not coming as your word against theirs, but is coming with evidence and witnesses and documentation. This is why begging is so hard, because understanding exists that this is not a situation that can be manipulated out of. This is accountability arriving with receipts. The truth about what was done is not just going to vindicate you, it is going to educate others. People who have never experienced this level of calculated destruction will learn that it exists. People who thought everyone eventually tells the truth will learn that some people build entire lives on lies. People who believe the best in everyone will learn that some individuals are genuinely malicious. Your story becomes a warning, a lesson, a wake-up call for anyone who has ever doubted their own perception because a manipulator told them perception was wrong. There is something you need to recognize about why focus was so heavy on blocking your financial opportunities. Specifically, money equals freedom, money equals options, money equals the ability to walk away from toxic situations, money equals the power to say no. Financial dependence or struggle was needed from you because that kept you controllable. As long as something from them or their network was needed, leverage existed. The moment financial independence arrived, untouchable status was yours. That terrified everyone involved. So systematic work happened to undermine your income potential. Lies were told to employers, interviews were sabotaged, referrals were blocked, doubt was created about your reliability or competence in the minds of people who could hire you. Wells were poisoned before you even knew those wells existed, all to keep you in a position where tolerating their presence or influence in your life was necessary, all to prevent gaining the resources to completely escape their control. But a way was found anyway, maybe harder than it should have been, maybe longer than it would have been without interference, but it happened. Something was built despite sabotage. Income was created despite blocks. Stability was achieved despite chaos. And that drove them absolutely insane. Because proof emerged that power over you was never as absolute as believed. Proof emerged that you were stronger than credit was given. Proof emerged that you were destined to rise no matter what was done. Now watch what happens when the truth comes out and people realize what you achieved despite active opposition. Your success becomes even more impressive, your resilience becomes even more remarkable, your story becomes even more inspiring. Because success did not just happen in normal circumstances. Success happened while active sabotage was occurring. Something was not just built, something was built while others were trying to burn it down. That is a completely different level of achievement. That is warrior energy. That is chosen one energy. That is unstoppable force energy. Resources that were diverted from you are being redirected back. Opportunities that were blocked are breaking open. Income streams that were dammed up are about to flood. If legal action happens, you win. Not just win on paper. Complete domination happens. An attorney is coming into your life who fights like a warrior. Not the first one who offers help, not a family friend with connections, not someone recommended by people in your old circle, someone fierce, someone sharp, someone who shoots from the hip and destroys opposition. When you meet this person, instant knowing will happen. Your spirit will confirm it. That is your person. That is your advocate. That is the one who gets you everything you deserve and then some. Because divine justice does not just restore what was taken. Multiplication happens. Upgrading happens. What was stolen gets returned with interest. Getting back to where you were is not the plan. Elevation far beyond where you would have been if attack had never happened is the plan. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something, but talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today. Join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Think about how much energy maintaining a lie takes. Now multiply that by every lie told about you, every false story, every twisted narrative, every manipulated conversation. Running at full speed on a hamster wheel of deception has been happening, constantly adjusting stories, managing different versions for different people, trying to remember what was told to whom. That is unsustainable. Eventually, exhaustion sets in. Eventually, contradictions emerge. Eventually, someone notices the inconsistencies. And once noticing starts happening, talking starts happening, notes get compared, realization forms that the story told to one person does not match the story told to someone else. Questions start getting asked. Investigation starts happening. Looking at the situation with fresh eyes and critical thinking starts happening, and the entire house of cards begins to collapse. This is happening right now with the people who targeted you. The carefully constructed narrative is unraveling faster than repairs can happen. You know what else is happening? The people who were manipulated are getting angry. When realization forms that being used as a weapon against an innocent person happened, fury arrives. When understanding comes that lies were fed and unwitting participation in someone's destruction occurred, violation is felt. Some of these people are going to become your biggest advocates once truth is learned, because making it right will be wanted. Distance from the manipulator will be wanted. Public alignment with you to prove deception happened, not complicity, will be wanted. This creates a domino effect. One person speaks up, then another, then another. Each testimony adds weight, each witness adds credibility, each piece of evidence adds proof. What starts as a whisper becomes a conversation. What starts as a conversation becomes a declaration. What starts as a declaration becomes an undeniable truth that no one can ignore anymore. This is the avalanche phase. Feist, and standing directly in its path is exactly where your enemies find themselves. The desperation in the begging tells you everything you need to know about how bad the truth actually is. If what was done was defensible, begging for silence would not be happening. Defense would be being prepared. If what was done was justifiable, panicking would not be happening. Actions would be being explained. If what was done was reasonable, falling apart would not be happening. Standing firm would be happening. But standing firm cannot happen when the ground beneath is made of lies. Here is what the revelation of truth does for you specifically. It answers the questions you have been carrying. Why did that opportunity fall through? Now you know. Sabotage happened. Why did that person suddenly change their opinion of you? Now you know. Lies were fed. Why did things get so difficult when smoothness should have existed? Now you know. Active opposition was happening. The confusion lifts. The uncertainty dissolves. The self-doubt evaporates. Because confirmation finally arrives that worthiness or capability was never the issue. Fear and insecurity from others was the issue. There is a reason why begging is falling on deaf ears. The person who knows the truth has made the calculation that staying loyal is more dangerous than exposing what happened. This tells you something important. The consequences coming are severe enough that witnesses are choosing to speak rather than face potential liability for staying silent. This tells you that what was done was not just morally wrong. Legal boundaries may have been crossed, professional ethics may have been violated, fraud or defamation or conspiracy may have been constituted. This is bigger than personal drama. This is serious, and when something is this serious, stopping it by begging cannot happen. Containing it by pleading cannot happen. Preventing it by making promises or offering incentives cannot happen. The machinery of justice has started moving, the wheels are turning, the process has begun, and once these things are set in motion, following the course to conclusion happens. Begging can continue all day. Pleading until voices are lost can happen. Offering anything and everything can occur. It will not matter. The truth is coming, and it is too powerful to be stopped by anything that can be done or said. What you need to focus on now is not what is happening to them. Focus on what is being prepared for you. While collapsing is happening for them, elevation is happening for you. While losing is happening for them, winning is happening for you. While exposure is happening for them, celebration is happening for you. While consequences are being faced by them, rewards are being received by you. This is the great reversal. This is the cosmic correction. This is justice manifesting in real time. Your creative power is coming back online. That project you abandoned is returning to your consciousness, but not the same way. Upgraded, enhanced, supercharged by everything learned through the fight. You are about to enter a phase of creative resurrection that produces work so powerful it cannot be ignored. Ideas are going to flood your mind. Inspiration is going to strike from unexpected places. Projects that felt impossible are going to flow effortlessly. The blockages placed on your sacral chakra are being cleared, your ability to create authentically is being restored, your passion is reigniting, your power is activating, and when production starts happening from this new place of healed power and divine protection, what comes through you is going to be extraordinary. It is going to reach people in ways never imagined. It is going to generate income beyond what was thought possible. It is going to establish you in ways that make your old life look small in comparison. There is a path of money waiting for you to discover it, not a little bit. Life-changing money. Money connected to justice. Money connected to stolen opportunities being restored. Money connected to settlements and inheritances and new positions and creative projects that finally get the recognition deserved. You are moving toward complete financial independence, toward luxury and peace simultaneously, toward not needing anyone or anything outside yourself to feel secure. That is where you are heading. That is what waits on the other side of this revelation. People are going to try to come back into your life when this shift is seen. Family members who doubted you, friends who abandoned you, colleagues who dismissed you. Access will be wanted again. Closeness to your success will be desired. Claims will be made that belief in you always existed. You owe them nothing, not access, not explanation, not forgiveness. Protect your peace fiercely. Guard your energy ruthlessly. Choose carefully who gets to witness your next chapter. This exposure is not just about punishment being delivered to your enemies. It is about freeing you. Unanswered questions have been carried for too long. Confusion about why things happened the way they did has been hauled around. Being weighted down by betrayal without understanding its full scope has been happening. That weight is about to be lifted. Those questions are about to be answered. That confusion is about to dissolve completely, and feeling lighter than you have felt in years is about to happen. This is your vindication moment. This is when everyone sees you were telling the truth. This is when everyone realizes you were not the problem. This is when everyone understands systematic targeting was happening to you, not because weakness existed in you, because power existed in you, not because flaws existed in you, because destiny existed in you, not because difficulty existed in you, because danger to false kingdoms existed in you. Your name is being cleared. Your reputation is being restored. Your character is being vindicated in ways that leave no room for doubt. People who questioned you are going to apologize. People who abandoned you are going to regret it. People who dismissed you are going to recognize what was lost, and you are going to have the deep satisfaction of knowing you were right all along. You were not paranoid. You were perceptive. You were not dramatic. You were discerning. You were not crazy. You were clairvoyant. But this vindication is not the end. It is the beginning. This is not the reward. This is the removal of obstacles that were preventing you from running your race at full speed. This is the clearance that allows finally stepping into the life you were meant to live without interference. This is the silencing of voices that were drowning out your calling, so finally hearing your destiny clearly can happen. You are about to enter the most productive, creative, abundant, powerful phase of your existence. Everything endured was preparation. Every battle built muscle. Every betrayal taught discernment. Every loss created space for something immeasurably better. You are not the same person who entered this trial. You are refined. You are fortified. You are focused. You are fierce. You are a weapon now, sharpened by adversity, tempered by fire, unbreakable. You are about to witness something that will restore your faith in divine order. You are going to see with your own eyes that evil does not win forever. You are going to watch as lies get exposed and truth prevails. You are going to experience the satisfaction of being vindicated without having to fight for it. Because when the universe handles your enemies, thoroughness happens that human effort could never achieve. It does not just address what you know about, it addresses everything that was ever done. Every lie that was ever told, every person that was ever hurt, every scheme that was ever run, all of it comes to light, all of it gets addressed, all of it receives appropriate consequences. The people who begged others not to speak to you failed. The truth was too powerful to be silenced. The lies were too obvious to be sustained. And now everything hidden is being revealed. Now the dam is breaking. Now the floodgates are opening. Now you get to watch in real time as divine justice dismantles everything built on deception. Remember who you are. You were never a victim. You were a target. There is a massive difference. Victims are powerless. Targets are powerful enough to be perceived as threats. Attack happened because of your destiny, not despite it. Opposition happened because of your gifts, not your weaknesses. Betrayal happened because of your potential, not your failures. Who you were becoming was seen and panic set in, and now that potential is manifesting. Now that destiny is unfolding. Now that power is being activated at levels that cannot be comprehended by those who attacked you. Everything attempted to be stopped is happening anyway. Everything attempted to be stolen is being returned multiplied. Everything attempted to be destroyed is being rebuilt stronger, bigger, more powerful than before. You are rising, and there is absolutely nothing that can be done except watching and regretting and reaping exactly what was sowed. This is not revenge. This is justice. This is not you fighting back. This is the universe fighting for you. This is not you getting even. This is divine order being restored to its proper alignment. You do not have to do anything except heal, grow, create, and step fully into your purpose. The rest is being handled by forces far beyond this realm. So, chosen one, get ready. The silence is breaking, the truth is erupting, the parasites are being cut off, the protection has been proven, the justice is being served, the money is moving, the creative flow is returning, the vindication is here, and your greatest chapter is beginning right now. Everything attempted to be stopped is about to explode into manifestation with a force that shakes the ground beneath your feet. The begging that opened this story, that desperate pleading for silence, was always going to fail. Because truth is not a thing that obeys the will of liars. Truth is a force that answers to universal law. And that law says what is hidden must be revealed. What is done in darkness must come to light. What is whispered in private will be proclaimed publicly. This law was forgotten by those who thought the truth could be buried deep enough that surfacing would never happen. Wrong. The truth was never buried. It was planted, and now it is growing into something too large to be ignored. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your emergence. Welcome to your reign.